So, guys, there's also really bad news. Nonito Donaire has come out and said the fight between him and John Riel Casimero has been cancelled. I don't know what's happened. There's been some serious beef between the two. And listen, I said that there would be animosity between the two because of the fact that they're two Filipinos, and it's bragging rights, isn't it? It's neither wants to give an inch, one wants to come out on top. But this has got out of hand. And what I mean by that is, there's been some insults, and you'd probably think it's crossed the line a little bit with what Nonito actually said. He said that, my wife's been disrespected and stuff. And I actually think maybe John Riel, I don't know what was said. Obviously, he did mention it. I don't really want to go into what he said. But he basically said his wife's been disrespected. He's been disrespected. And, I feel like when fighters, I can understand fighters trying getting under each other's skin. It's a thing. But I think when family gets brought into it, I think that's a bit, I don't like that. I don't like that just because I think that, that's serious when you're talking about someone's wife and stuff. That's not something that you should touch. I don't believe. Like, yeah, talk about a fighter's personal life or whatever, like personal life in the sense that he's done something, but when you randomly bring up someone's family, I don't, that's not good. That's not good. Yeah, I don't like that stuff. And Nonito Donaire for me is a very great champion. He's a humble guy. I know a lot of Filipinos are supporting John Riel Casimero, and I think that for me that's got to do with obviously the Manny link and Manny being close with John Riel Casimero. But I don't know. I didn't expect it to get out of hand to the point where the fight would be cancelled. I thought there'd be needle, and I thought there'd be back and forth, but I thought the fight would get done. Now I don't know what the situation is. I don't know what's going on. Is there things going on in the background that us fans don't know about? Possibly, but Nonito Donaire confirmed. He actually had I think he was live on Instagram, and he was talking to one of John Riel Casimero's team, and that guy was actually Nonito looked angry. He looked angry. Like, I'm talking, he wasn't happy. He wasn't happy. He was cursing, and, he was not happy. He was not happy. You could tell he felt disrespected. And I didn't know this VADA situation was that they felt that strongly, or their side didn't sign or whatever. They weren't doing VADA, back and forth, or they think there's something dodgy. I don't know the full situation. I've researched a little bit of it, but it's not clear. It's something to do with them saying that John Riel Casimero didn't sign up to VADA or something along those lines, and obviously Nonito Donaire and his wife were trying to push that, but it seemed like Casimero and his team said that he was signed up. Now that's what that guy was saying, that one of Casimero's team, he was saying, you're a Hall of Famer, you're a great fighter. But at that point, I don't think Nonito wanted to hear anything. He was just so unhappy with what he had heard about things that were said about him, his wife, and he was just not happy. And I think they've got to the point and say that, you know what, I'm not dealing. I think initially it was great promotion, and listen, if the fight happens, it may still be great promotion. Because think about it, if the fight happens, this is going to be even bigger now. With what's happened, with the beef between the two, imagine the press conferences, imagine the back and forth, imagine, how big and how many people are going to be interested. So I actually think Nonito looked quite sincere about cancelling the fight and not the fight not happening, because he said, that's it, it's done. We're cancelling the fight. Because he didn't look happy, of course. He didn't look happy. But what I'm hoping as a boxing fan, because the fight is such a great fight, and because the fight is it's a fight that really, for me, is one of the best fights in boxing in terms of stylistically. I'm not saying obviously name-wise and from a popularity point of view, I'm not saying it's the biggest fight, but to the hardcores, it's definitely it was one of the best fights and one of the most looked forward fights that I was looking forward to, because I knew it was going to be a dynamite fight. And I even said I don't think a fight at the lower weight class like this had got so much attention, and that was because of the fact there was two Filipinos, and they're both bring it type fighters. They both bring the pain. They both bring the heat. It would have been, it still could be. It's a dynamite fight where you're going to get back and forth between two warriors. You've got Nonito Donaire, he's at the stage of his career where, he's cementing his legacy. He's already cemented his legacy, but he's adding further. He's basically doing what Manny Pacquiao's doing. He's further adding to his legacy. He's further strengthening his Hall of Fame resume, which he already a Hall of Famer, as that guy pointed out from Casamero's camp. Donaire is a Hall of Famer without question, and he's further trying to add to that by becoming a unified 118-pound champion. I do think he's very big at the weight, and I do think he's got a massive side advantage over a lot of the fighters there, Nonito, and I think that could definitely favor him against Casimero. But I just want to see the fight. I don't want to see this fight get cancelled. You never like to see bitterness the exchanges between two parties get to the point where the fight has to be cancelled. And right now, it looks like the fight has been cancelled. Nonito Donaire's not happy. John Riel Casimero's camp was probably trying to rectify the situation, but maybe it's too late. And Nonito and his team have made his mind up. I honestly think that my gut feeling and my gut feel, this is my gut feel, and I don't know for sure, is that the fight will happen down the road. It's too big a fight now not to happen. I think financially now the fight's way bigger. And listen, Nonito Donaire's not worried financially. This is a guy, it's a Hall of Fame fighter, a guy that's been fighting for a very long time, and financially I'm pretty sure he's well off. But still, I think the kind of attention this fight would get, the fact that it's a rival, it's a fight between two Filipinos, I think the whole nation would be watching this fight. I think they'd all be gripped by the attention, by the rivalry between the two, because let's be honest, right? There'd be a press conference, and I'm pretty sure there'll be words said from their side. And John Riel Casimero, as we know, he's great at trash talking. He's great at getting at someone. He's done it with Inoue, and he's kind of got under Inoue's skin, and he's definitely got under, Donaire's skin. So he's definitely somebody which is, it's out of the norm, because Nonito's not like that, and Manny Pacquiao's not like that. So maybe this is at the end of the day, Casimero's not Nonito and he's not Manny, so he's a different person. And also, let's not forget, Casimero may have to do some things like this to get his name out there, to get bigger. Remember, Nonito and Pacquiao are Hall of Fame fighters. They've done a lot in their career, and they've been promoted very well as well, and they've got huge names now. Whereas Casimero's trying to get himself out there, he hasn't got that kind of name. A win over Nonito Donaire. This is why the fight being cancelled is not good for Casimero, because this type of fight could take Casimero to the next level from a reputation, fame point of view, and from a career standpoint. This could take Casimero to another level. This is why a fight of this magnitude is very important for someone like Casimero, because Casimero would be fighting someone like Nonito, who's slightly past his best, but he's still a credible top-level world champion. He proved that against Obali, who a lot of people thought would beat Donaire, and Donaire just walked through him. So obviously Donaire's still a top-level world champion, but Casimero needs this fight to happen, because a win over someone like Nonito Donaire could take Casimero to different heights, to take Casimero to new levels. So personally, I think this is probably worse for Casimero, because Casimero, since the Inoue fight was going to happen in 2020, right? It got cancelled in April. He's not been very active. He had one fight against Duke Meeker, I believe, and after that, I don't think he's fought. And he's getting older as well, and he needs to be active. He needs to fight. He needs to be fighting top-level opposition, and the fight between him and Nonito Donaire would have been a massive unification fight, a huge fight, whereas Nonito Donaire has fought Obali. He's coming off a very, very good win at a very high level against a very, very good champion in Obali. Whereas Casemero's not been active. He needs this type of fight to get himself out there. He needs himself to push himself or push his reputation out there, because he needs a big win. You know, Casemero's got good solid wins. He hasn't got a big win like a Donaire on his name. You know, Donaire's a Hall of Famer. I know Donaire's 39, 38, but he's still very, very good. So a win for Casemero would firstly be his biggest win. He'd gain a lot from a reputation, from a popularity standpoint. You know, he'd go to another level. Also, he'd become a unified champion. You know, he'd become a unified champion. That fight between him and Inoue becomes a mega fight. So Casemero could get 2 paydays. He could get a fight with Donaire, and then he could get, if he wins that, he could get a fight with Inoue, which, this is what I mean, he'd take himself to another level. And off the promotion of just those 2 fights, Casemero is a superstar, a star. So this is what I'm saying. So that's why it's so important for Casemero for this fight to happen. The Donaire can fight Inoue. Donaire can get another fight. Donaire's already got a name. Casemero needs to get to that kind of level. And he needs a Donaire to get to that kind of level. So the fight being cancelled is actually bad for Casemero, not for Donaire. Because, like I said, Donaire's coming towards the end of his career. Donaire's done everything. He's a Hall of Fame fighter. And he's got that name. Anyone would want to fight Donaire. Donaire could get a fight with Rigondeaux. Donaire could get a fight with Inoue again, because his name itself would sell those fights. And by the way, him Donaire and Rigondeaux, he could look for revenge because Rigondeaux beat him. You know, Inoue, again, he could look for revenge. That was a fight of the year at the time. You know, one of the best fights I've seen. So that's a fight that the public would warm to. So Casemero is the one that's being hurt here, because Casemero's inactive and he hasn't got the name of those guys. I do think the Inoue Casemero fight would be massive because of the back and forth between the two. The fight's been kind of, and stylistically, the fight's a great fight. So hopefully the Casemero-Donaire fight can happen, because like I said, I think it's a great fight, and I think it's most importantly, it's an exciting fight for boxing fans, and that's the most important thing here. It's about the boxing fans. It's about pleasing the boxing fans, and that's us. You know, you guys that watch my channel and all the boxing fans. And that type of fight is a fan-friendly fight. So hopefully the fight happens. I'm not sure what's the situation. Gut feeling says it will happen maybe down the road. Maybe it gets cancelled. Maybe they sort the issues out. Who knows? Leave your thoughts, though. Nonito Donaire says fight with John Riel Casimero is cancelled. Leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Are you disappointed? Are you upset by this? Let me know what you think. Do you think if that fight don't happen, Donaire would fight Inoue, or Inoue fights Casimero? What do you think happens? Leave your thoughts. And guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.